Hello, Dr. Rosenbaum, and welcome to the Pet Buzz.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk about itchy pets today.
Oh boy, everybody out there with itchy pups is also interested in this also. So, Dr. Rosenbaum, what are the causes of itchiness in pets?
There's so many causes of itch in pets, but the number one cause is allergic skin disease, and this includes atopic dermatitis. And this is an inflammatory chronic skin disease similar to eczema in people. And when we have allergies, we sneeze, and when dogs do, they get itchy skin. And pets can be allergic to fleas, environmental allergens like dust mites and pollens, as well as foods. And parasites and skin infections can also cause itchy skin.
I never thought of it in terms of like having eczema. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like pets having eczema, because we see all those commercials like with, famous people that have eczema, but I just never thought about it. So I think that's kind of interesting.
Well, don't forget too, they get those little hot spots. Those are like true eczema.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Thank you. It's like another way of me to think about it. So, what, Dr. Rosenbaum, what signs should pet owners look out for to identify a more serious itching problem other than just scratching here and there? I mean, and the hot spots, of course.
Well, it's more important than ever for pet owners to notice these itching behaviors in their pets and discuss treatment options with their veterinarian to really help improve their pet's quality of life. And all this itching is really the reason that Zoetis created the third annual Itchy Pet Awareness Month in August to raise awareness among pet owners of allergic itch in dogs as a medical issue that needs treatment by their veterinarian. And, while frequent scratching that often wakes both the pet and the owner up at night is a really obvious sign of itch, pet parents might see other signs of itchiness. And these are some signs to watch out for. So your pet is frequently licking at their paws or chewing at their legs or other parts of their body. They're rolling on the carpet, they're rubbing their face on furniture, they're scooting across the floor. They have patches of hair loss. They seem to smell not as nice as we would like them to smell. They may notice skin changes like a rash, redness, greasy skin, some scabs and sores on their body. And ear infections are really common in allergic dogs, so they might have head shaking and ear scratching, as well as ear discharge and an odor.
I'm glad she brought that up because I was visiting my neighbor Annie, Annie and Chuck, and Rudy, their Westie, was rolling on the grass, and his whole like genital kind of stomach area was all red. And I told Annie, it's time to go to the vet. Yeah. So it's, yeah.
And another thing too, is they can be kind of ornery when they're not feeling good, and they can make our pet parents ornery because they itch all night and people can't get any sleep.
That is so true. And there's nothing worse than just being woken up in the middle of the night with that slurp, 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 licking the paws or scratching and the collar is jingling. And
yeah,
you got it.
Definitely.
Hear that complaint every day. Every day.
Okay, so the pet is showing the signs of pet itchiness. What should the pet owner do? What's the first thing they should do?
Well, the first thing is don't try to treat this yourself at home. Many pet owners might try home remedies or ask their friends or family for advice or even go on the internet for answers. And the reality is that many over-the-counter or home remedies are just not effective in treating allergic itch. And this can really contribute to a delay in your pet getting the right diagnosis and receiving effective treatment. So if you've ever had poison ivy, you know how much suffering and sleepless nights this can cause. And it's really the same for our pets with allergic itch. And sadly, there's over 6 million itchy dogs that have never seen a vet for their itch, and they're really suffering unnecessarily. And itch is a serious medical condition that requires professional treatment.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine people going on Dr. Google, as you always say? When the minute she said that, I thought of Dr. Google, and I can see people, they really what everything on the internet, the answer is apple cider vinegar. I mean, like they just pour apple cider vinegar over their dog. Dog has an ear infection. In the ears too.
They pour it in the ears.
The dog has an ear infection. Apple cider vinegar, itchy skin. Apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, it's just what she is saying is so appropriate because every day I'm treating. In addition to what the initial problem is, the problems that pet parents really don't recognize, but they're causing more problems. And it makes it more difficult for our patients to recover, and it hurts them longer, and they don't get as much sleep as long, the people either. So appropriate, doctor, that you say that. So depending upon why the pet is itchy, can you discuss maybe some of the treatment protocols and what you think might be some of the expenses for that?
So the best thing a pet owner can do if they notice this itching behavior is to discuss the problem with their veterinarian. And your veterinarian is going to take a detailed history. They're going to examine your pet's skin and ears thoroughly, and they can perform different diagnostic tests such as skin scrapings and skin cytology to really find the cause of the itch. And they can prescribe very effective fast-acting pills. There's long-acting injections. There's topical treatments. They may want to prescribe some topicals like shampoos. They may want to change the diet and try flea medication. These prescription medications are going to give your pet much needed relief from allergic itch, so everyone can get a good night's sleep, as you said. And these newer treatments work so much better than anything you can try at home or buy at a pet store or off the shelf at a human pharmacy. And in fact, some of the newer, more advanced treatment options can start to work within hours, and some of the longer acting newer treatments can last 4 to 8 weeks.
Do you necessarily have to see a veterinary dermatologist, or do you think it's appropriate just to start out with your veterinarian?
I would start out with your primary care veterinarian, just like you would see your primary care physician first, with a problem generally before going to a specialist. I think they're in the best position to decide what treatments are needed, what diagnostics should be done, and then they can decide whether referral to a veterinary dermatologist is appropriate. And I think it is important to know that there are specialists, just like there are in human dermatology, that there are veterinary dermatologists that can handle more challenging or more severe cases.
I asked part of that too about the type of expenses. I know what the expenses are in our practices and what my colleagues practice here in Florida, because we see a lot of flea allergy dermatitis, of course. But for some of the other types of problems, the expenses can become a little bit more profound, can't they?
Yeah, that's true. Certainly any chronic disease, just like chronic allergic dermatitis in dogs, can become expensive over time. And the expense can really vary depending on the individual needs of the pet and the treatment prescribed. But just remember, if a treatment is inexpensive but it doesn't work, it's still not worth it. And these itchy pets are really suffering. If we act early and treat with effective prescription medications and develop kind of a preventative maintenance plan that can help prevent the itching and infection, this is really good for the pet's quality of life and will actually save the pet parent money in the long run, versus waiting until there's more severe problems down the road.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Thank you for saying that, because lots of times people think you treat once, it's done. But there's a management protocol that you need to do afterwards, whether it's just because they have flea allergy dermatitis, monitor and take care of the fleas. But it's so important for whatever that causes.
Well, it's like being a diabetic. You have to work out, you have to eat right, you have to take your medication once or twice a day. So it's like any health problem you have. So, I mean, the best part is, as I always say, it's better to be forewarned so that you'll be forearmed, so that you know. So if your pet's itchy, go to the vet, talk to the vet. And, a lot of vets will tell you, like, you might have to change the diet. That could be one step. Like you said, a lot of people, especially here in Florida in the South, they have flea dermatitis because they're not on preventative medication throughout the year. So if you put your pet on preventative medication, maybe in that particular scenario, your pet will not suffer. I mean, or he'll, or the problem can be, as Dr. Rosenbaum said, done really quickly.
And not to knock any of the pet products, because all of them are good, but maybe one is better for that individual pet. And that's part of that relationship that we have with our pets and our pet parents.
And our vets. I mean,
with the vet,
and I always say this, your vet is your total advocate. He's there for your pet's health and to advise you.
And thank goodness us as family practitioners have doctor here to give us the right information, we can give it to the people.
We got the specialists.
We do.
Okay. So, one thing I'm just curious about. So, some of the research that when preparing for this interview said there was an increase of itchy dogs over the past few years. So why do you think we've seen more itchy pets during the pandemic?
I think there's a couple reasons. I think the main one is that as people have been spending more time at home with their pets, they're working from home, they're teaching their kids at home, they notice more itching behavior that they might not have been aware of before when they weren't at home as much. And many of the popular breeds now, such as doodle dogs and labs and goldens, are really genetically very prone to allergies. And this is why it's so important to raise awareness on how common skin issues are in our pets and the importance of discussing this itching behavior with our veterinarian. And these highly effective prescription treatments are available that can really help make pets much more comfortable and give our pet parents peace of mind now that they are spending more time at home with their pets.
Zoetis has created some resources for veterinarians as well as pet owners regarding itchy pets. Can you tell us about them?
Sure. Zoetis has a website called itchingforhelp.com, and this has resources dedicated to educating pet parents all about allergic itch in dogs. And you can find these resources such as a quick, easy 5-question quiz called Itching to Know, and you can see if your dog might be showing signs of an allergic skin condition.
And there's also, go ahead. I was going to say there's also a resource website for veterinarians too, correct?
Yes, that's true. Zoetis is also launching a new website for veterinarians, itchypetawarenessmonth.com. And the website includes customizable Facebook and Instagram posts, since we're all on social media now, and a new Itchy Pet Awareness Month video encouraging pet owners to schedule a visit. Zoetis is also providing printable waiting room and exam room posters to further increase awareness of this important month in their clinics. So it's August, we're all outside, there's lots of pollen, it's Itchy Pet Awareness Month, and so if your pet is itching, please bring them into your veterinarian.
You got to
so
get some posters. You got to get some posters, Dr. Fleck.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna have Zoetis send us some posters for you.
Okay.
You could put them in
Go on the website.
Or my sales rep could come in and bring them for me.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciated having you.
Thank you, Charlotte. It's really been fun. I always love to talk about itchy pets.
Thanks for viewing our content on Pet Buzz Plus.